Evening, y'all. How we doing? It's a really interesting thing about people who are what some would call addicted to growth. Growth is one of my most important values. So for me, I attract a lot of people who are dedicated to growth to the extent where we will sometimes sacrifice everything else just for the sake of growing. And this is where the addiction of personal development can come in, and it can become in its own right an addiction, just like alcohol or anything else, to where it's unhealthy and it can be neurotic. I saw this a lot in the detox space when I was working with some companies and in my own practice where I help people with detoxing. There's a neuroticism that comes when someone's sick. They'll go from being very sick and in so much pain that they have to become neurotic in order to change. And so the neuroticism takes place because it's a counterbalance to get back into normalcy, into balance. And so when someone's sick, they'll shift from being not so good at taking care of themselves, and then they'll go all the way to the other end of the spectrum where everything they're doing is an act of taking care of themselves so that they can avoid being in pain anymore. And this becomes a neuroticism. The neuroticism is never being able to enjoy anything really because they're trying to heal. I went through this. I see a lot of clients go through it. I try and steer people away from it. But if you're on the end of the spectrum where you're trying to heal yourself or you're in a lot of pain and stuff, then it does make sense. You do actually have to become neurotic to an extent so that you can bring healthiness back into balance. But the next phase is letting that go. That's why right now I'm smoking a stogie and I'm drinking a milkshake. Like a couple weeks ago, I'd be so judgmental of any time I'd consume sugar or anything like that. And I was in this group with this guy, and he's just like, "Do whatever you want. Go get a Coca-Cola and drink it." And so I went and I did that. Not American Coca-Cola. Get a Mexican Coca-Cola, and I just drank it. And I'm like, "Oh my God! I've spent like 5 years demonizing sugar, and I've been avoiding it completely. And at some times when I did have it, I would just judge myself. And that's not healthy either. Like if you're going to engage in some form of what you would deem sin or something that's not for your highest self, at least enjoy doing it. Like if you're going to do it, enjoy doing it, right? So I see a lot of people with the health and also the self improvement and the manifestation, and all these people getting into Joe Dispenza meditations and only focusing on the positive. And all of this is an attempt to become a better person, right? For whatever reason, whether it's running away from something or never wanting to be what you were. And for some people, myself included, it's just like you just like growth. You understand that life is growth, and you have two options. You can have a growth mindset, or you can have a scarcity mindset. I choose growth mindset every day. I'll take the pain and the struggle of constantly seeking improvement over decay, right? But sometimes it's okay to rest and relax and decay a little bit so that you can get to the next phase. But ultimately, the manifestation boards, the pushing to achieve your desired dream, your dream life, all these things, if they don't get checked ever, if you just keep chasing it, it will become you get that vision, and then it just becomes the next one and the next one and the next one, and you could wake up 10 years from now doing the same shit. I know people who have been doing vision boards for a long time, they still don't have their manifestation, or they've gotten it and they're on to the next one. And so how do you kind of, for lack of a better word, bypass all of this? And you're not going to completely bypass it. It's part of the learning curve, but how do you avoid having to go through doing that much work and realizing oh, I did all this work, but I didn't actually get to where I wanted to go because I wasn't enjoying the journey. And that's through just the deep understanding that the only thing that matters in this realm is cultivating deep presence. So if you want to be more confident, I don't know too many people who couldn't use more confidence. I know a couple people that are just way too confident to the point where it's like, whoa, tone it down. But for the most part, especially the people I talk to and work with, they're really powerful and wonderful people, but they don't believe in themselves completely. And this was me. And it's beautiful that I am using that in the past context because now I believe in myself. And it's not even belief, it's faith. I have faith in myself. And how did I get here? Well, all the things I did allowed me to cultivate an understanding that presence is the most important thing. To just be present in the moment, to be able to enjoy every step that we take, to be able to breathe through the pain and the perceivedly negative emotions. And so confidence can be explained in many words, but what do people mean when someone says, oh, they're very confident? Well, confident person isn't trying to go anywhere. They're just there. And in being there, they, instead of trying to overthink about the next scenario and think about what they're going to do in a room in 5 minutes, they're just there with people. And through being there with people and giving every person that's in their vicinity the attention of them just being there and not trying to be anyone but what they are feeling now, that is ultimately presence. And that is like the most confident thing you can be, is to just be present all the time. And that's why confident people are often, when someone speaks about a confident person, they say that person has a very strong presence. Their presence is big. And so presence in the online space, presence in those meetings you go to spread the word of your business. If you're not there because you're thinking so much, smacking your head against the wall, trying to make things happen, trying to make it work. If I just do this, if I just update my spreadsheet enough and get my 401k to this number when I'm 45 years old, I'm finally going to be happy. It's all bullshit. The amount of people I know who have tracked every step they've taken, every little thing, put it in a spreadsheet, and they were never really there to enjoy it because they're trying to get somewhere else. I was that guy once. It's fucking miserable. It's miserable. And now, like, I can go throughout my day, and I have so much momentum now throughout my days in which I'm present. And the presence creates more momentum because I enjoy every day I have. And the more days I enjoy, the more hours I enjoy. The more hours I enjoy, the more minutes I enjoy. The more minutes I enjoy, the more seconds I enjoy. And this actually makes it so that when people tell you, oh, life goes by in the flash of an eye, it's like, oh, that's not actually true. Life goes by in the flash of an eye if you're not present for it. If you're not present for it, you just wake up one day and you're like, oh my God, I'm 60 years old and I've been doing the same thing. And so the presence that comes with creating a dream scenario, it can only come through cultivation. And so I said in a video last week, I was like, I don't have a 5-year plan. Do I have a vision of where my mission's going? Yes, absolutely. That's important. Do I understand my mission, my core values, all of that? Yeah. Yeah, super important. That is the container in which I live my life now. And I don't need to have a vision board of these material objects and possessions that I wish to acquire. Would it help if I vision boarded? Probably. I've done it before and I wasn't present enough for it to be useful. And what I see now is the vision board actually isn't something I want to do, because I was doing that out of a place of listening to authority figures who were telling me how to achieve my dreams. Well, the only authority figure I listen to now is God. And notice how I said I listen to him. I don't read about him. Do I learn more about God through books? Yes. Do I learn more about God through other people's experiences of him? Yes. But my relationship with God has been cultivated through becoming more present in my life. Wow, that guy's ripping it. And as I've become more present, I have a more present relationship with him. The future doesn't exist. The past is gone. The present is a gift. And so if you're a kid on Christmas, hopefully you got gifts under your tree. And can you go back to that time when you were a kid and you were so excited to wake up the next day, and that morning was just so full of love and abundance and fun with your parents, with your family, as you're opening up the gifts. And all day you just play with them. Not thinking of anything else, not thinking of where to go. You're not thinking of, oh, well, if I do this thing long enough, next Christmas, mom's going to give me a bigger scooter. So, maybe by July you start thinking about the next Christmas. But on Christmas Day, you're not thinking about the next Christmas Day. You're just there. You're happy. You're full of joy. So how do we bring that joy into our lives every day? Well, we just decide to continuously be here now. I had a client today. She was really interested in my story of my feet. It was interesting that she was so interested in it, because I tell a lot of people that story and they usually just continue with whatever they want to talk about. But she brought it up again. She's like, I really want to hear more about your feet. So with my feet, I had these really high arches, right? And high arches and flat feet generally are not actually that healthy. I know in the military they were only taking people with like regular, normal, quote unquote, normal feet, and higher arches, and flat feet used to not be a thing. But it's interesting because I don't know too many people with feet as high as mine with the arch. And I experienced a tremendous amount of pain for years. And I had no idea when I was walking around that my feet hurt so much. And as I got more present in my body, I got closer and closer to the realization that my feet were significantly ungrounded. And it wasn't coming from my feet. It was coming from my own body, my energetic body, my physical body, and my spirit. My spirit didn't actually want to be here in this plane, didn't want to be here in this existence. So what did I do? I started doing all these things in the self-development space, ayahuasca and psychedelics and all this stuff, to get me out of my body. And ultimately, all my body wanted was for me to go into it fully and be present with it and tell it it's going to be okay. You're going to be all right. I'm here for you. I'm your daddy now. I'm going to take care of you. You're going to be okay. And as I learned about my feet, and I worked with Edu, my mentor, he was the guy that taught me myofascial release. He showed me that all of my foot pain was actually coming from my back. And my back, when he opened it up more and gave it space, I could breathe better. And when I could breathe better, I could be more present. And so when I work with people on their bodies doing myofascial release, one of the big things they tell me is, oh, it feels like I can breathe more. It's like, yeah, because you've been so constricted. And in our lives, if we never find the time to get present into our bodies and to understand what our bodies actually need, we will continue to live in a pain body that we don't even know exists. And it's not until the pain becomes so hard that the pain forces us into presence. And so many people that come to me with disease processes, mental health issues, a lack of understanding and self-belief, it's all coming back to not being able to be fully present with where they're at. And so they want to get somewhere else, and desire is important. It's the thing that fuels our growth. If we desire a better future, we will do what we need in order to go through the discomfort and become better people. And it's really important. But don't forget that um, when you get there, when you get to that mountain, that top, it's going to be a fleeting moment. When you finally get to the place you want to be, let's call it healed, you're going to for a couple of days be like, oh yeah, I'm finally healed, and you'll be grateful for it. And then you'll fall back into just living again, and you'll forget. And I'm not trying to put that on anyone that that's what's going to happen, but this is what happened to me. I forgot what it felt like to be sick after I stopped being sick. And when I stopped being sick, in the form of having symptoms, skin symptoms in particular, I I felt really good for a couple days, and then I just went back into like just kind of living my life as if I didn't have the disease, and I forgot how painful it was. But that pain made me really present because I had to sit in the pain long enough to understand it and to start saying, hey, I need to make a change. And then as I kept going back into old patterns, I'd go back into that pain, and that pain showed me, hey, you got to be present, you got to be present, you got to be present. And it led me to all these teachers and people who helped facilitate my transformation and becoming more present. And so now I'm not trying to get anywhere. It's really fruitful for me to be able to come back to my hometown, and I have more business than ever. For 6 years, I was trying to get and obtain business, and I was really trying to force things to happen, and I'd make money here and there, and I'd be good, but it was always fleeting. And now it doesn't matter how much money I make on any given day. It doesn't matter what I achieve in the external world. All that matters is that I keep coming back to myself. I keep coming back into my body. And as I do that, I can enjoy all of it. I can enjoy every moment that I'm given. I can enjoy every emotion. I can sit in a negative emotion, and I can find the peace within that negative emotion. And when I find the peace within that negative emotion, I accept it and I let it go. And so all of this is really acceptance. If you just accept your current reality and stop trying to find something else, stop trying to push for something else, and just accept where you are, accept that you're okay, accept that you're whole now. You don't need to be someone else. Are you going to choose to be a better person? Yeah, absolutely. You wake up every day and you make that choice. Every second there's a choice to do that. You can choose to do another rep in the gym, or you can leave. But the acceptance of I'm okay where I am now, and this is a process. There was a guy in our community today. I really value his opinion because him and I went into nursing school. We were doing our prereqs together, and we had an anatomy class. And he's always been a fatherly figure. He's always been a father since I've known him, but he he's always had such wisdom, and I've seen both of us have been able to experience each other's journeys, and watching us enjoy the journey more. I think part of becoming a man is just really accepting that we have a lot of responsibility. We have a lot of responsibility, and that responsibility requires, if we want to be the best father figures, the best quarters, the best men that we can possibly be, which is the essence of a man, to be a good man. It it really only comes down to just be present. Be present. Be present with people. Stop trying to force things to happen. Stop trying to force people to fall into your frame and to be an alpha male and to be someone that you don't need to be. Like I don't, so much of the presence that I've been able to cultivate, where now it's just a livelihood that I embody, comes from me no longer needing to be someone I'm not. Like I don't need to look up to other people and try and be them. I'm just me. I'm just me. And in the giving yourself the presence to be able to be yourself, to be able to express yourself, and to be able to watch yourself as you make mistakes, it's the greatest gift you can give yourself. It's the greatest present you can give yourself, is to be present with all of that, and to not try and force getting out of it because you don't like the emotions. It's all just really, can you sit in the tension of things not going the way you expected them to? Life not unfolding the way that you thought it would. That's why the vision board thing for me doesn't resonate anymore, because I don't need to put pictures on the wall and force that reality into existence through constantly just obsessing over it until it becomes a manifestation. I'm much more content with being able to presently Logan, watch my reality unfold as God intended it to. It's so fun. It's so fun. And I'm not saying there might not be a day where I pick up a vision board and go, oh yeah, this has some merit to it and this works. But it's just so much more fun being able to watch life unfold by accepting everything that comes. So that's it. I shot a video before this, and it's funny because I used to get really angry. I was very impatient because I was trying to force so many things. I just shot like a really good video. It was incredible, and the mic, I didn't turn it on correctly, and it created a bunch of static, and so the video is destroyed. And I did that the other day. I just don't care. I don't care. It's not a problem. It's not something I'm gonna think about and get mad about. It used to take me so much energy just to shoot one video, and now, because I'm so present, I don't need to make any subtitles or titles or anything before I shoot these videos. I don't need to do a bunch of ChatGPT prompts to understand what I'm going to shoot so that I can try and beat the algorithm. I'm just like, oh, I feel good. I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to shoot a video. That's what I want to do. And I just do it. And it's like life is so much easier when we're present and we're not trying to force anything to happen. So if you guys want to cultivate more presence, if you want to have other people with you on the journey of becoming a more present man, I encourage you to check out the link below with the white paper of Ubuntu Fellowship. It's a philanthropic men's community where we are all sharpening each other's swords while being in community with one another and developing like really deep connections and being able to be present men and enjoy life together. So if that's something that interests you, consider applying below, and I'll see you in the next one. Late.